sidelines for a long time. Now I'm finally getting in the game. It's about time. This is my time. This is my time. The only thing I consider impossible is losing. On the sidelines for a long time. Now I'm finally getting in the game. It's about time. This is my time. This is my time. The only thing I consider impossible is losing. I've been waiting on the sidelines for a long time. Now I'm finally getting in the game. It's about time. This is my time. This is my time. The only thing I
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to TD Fans Talk, home of the real Miami Dolphin fans. Hit that like button on your way in the building. This stream is being brought to you by BetUS. Receive a 125% bonus. The link is in the description of the video, ladies and gentlemen. And don't forget, with BetUS, they also have BetUS TV. All right, make sure that you guys check that out. BetUS TV next week. Me, Dan, and Richie will be starting our show on this channel. So go ahead and subscribe. All you got to do is hit that subscribe button, and it'll do exactly what I just did. All right. Also, don't forget to go to BetUS NFL picks and predictions. These guys have been doing this for quite some time. As you can see, Chiefs versus Ravens was the last game that they predicted. Make sure that you go check out their live video 4 days ago. NFL early Super Bowl preview predictions. They got the odds and everything, all right? So if you need any betting help of what you should pick or what these guys think, go check that show out. That way, you'll always be up on what you need to do if you want them. All right, the link is in the description of the video. Let your friends and family members know about it as well. Supporting our sponsors is supporting the channel, all right? All right, what up, what up, what up? What up, everybody? How y'all doing, man? How y'all doing? We done had some time off. Kicking back, chilling, doing us, man. I hope everybody's feeling well. We already got 200 people here on a Sunday night. That's pretty dope. But y'all hit that like button. Let's see here. Yeah. We good. All right, let me see what's going on. DCA, no spamming. Final warning. DCA says Kurt Warner exposes Lamar Jackson. Everybody, go check it out. How can you expose Lamar Jackson? How can Kurt Warner expose Lamar Jackson? Everybody knows who Lamar is as a passer. He's not the most elite processor of the field. Sometimes he has inaccuracies in his passing. Everybody knows what Lamar is. He's a playmaker. He's a guy who knows how to use his legs and extends plays. You know, to me, he's like a Tua, but he can use his legs, and that's what makes him special. So exposing Lamar, I doubt Kurt would be able to tell us something we don't already know outside of, Lamar isn't as great of a runner you think. Maybe he can expose something like that and it'll shock us all. But Lamar is who he is. I think the intriguing part about him is his ability to extend plays and use his legs, which is a dangerous thing in today's NFL. That can win you games alone. that can win you games alone. When the defense shuts you down passing the ball and you're not an elite processor and know how to do it, he can still win games with his legs. So that's what has always made him special. So I know Kurt isn't breaking down mobility of a quarterback. He's probably just breaking down what you would be able to see on film for Lamar for 5 years. His inaccuracies throwing the ball and his ability to so much process the field. I don't think I've ever heard nobody say that Lamar is an elite processor of the field. Just my take. All right. Trade up for Caleb Williams would be nice. Man, they almost gave me a lovable heart attack earlier today. I seen a post that Dolphins were fielding information about Justin Fields, a potential trade. I know it's fake. I ain't even verified to see if it's fake, but I know it's fake because it could. Don't make me happy. Don't make me happy. Okay? Do not make me happy. All right? Oh, man. Y'all hit that like button, man. We got 255 people in here. We trying to get our 100 likes. Y'all know how we do it. Yeah, I know it. I know it. Yeah, hit that like button, all right? All right, fans up at TD Fans Talk. Hope the family is okay and everything. They're good. The kids were sick this week, you know. All of them except baby girl is like 100 right now. Baby girl still got a, drainage and stuff like that. So we just keep an eye on that. All right. I'm sitting here live right now and I was eating some grapes and I got like 3 left in my hand and I'm like, I don't want to eat while I'm talking. So y'all bear with me. Like, let me finish these grapes, man. TD suffers from Tua derangement syndrome. You want Fields, TD? I want him to compete with Tua, and I want to see what McDaniel can turn him into. Glenn said, I do not understand why people want Fields. Why not, Glenn? Why is that hard to understand? Why is that not hard to understand? He's a playmaker. He has flaws in throwing the ball, but that's what McDaniels is for. Can you develop him into a solid passer? And you add that with his playmaking ability, you have a dangerous weapon. It would be better than the weapon we have now. That's the point. That's why I want Fields. Can Mike McDaniel make him an above average passer? I'm not asking him to be elite. Can Mike McDaniel make him an above average passer and let him full force use his legs? We be dynamic. Glenn said he is a running game back playing GQB. Yeah, that's the point. Can McDaniels turn him to an above average passer? That's all you got to ask yourself. That's all that matters. So the problem we have in Miami is we don't have dynamic play at the position. Okay? Cat Lover said, TD, did you give up on Tua? No, I haven't given up on Tua, and I'm glad you asked because that's what this stream is kind of not fully about, but somewhat about. My baby girl must have stole my pens. All right, I'll use this one. I don't like this one, but I'll use it. Let's go ahead and get started. Shout out to Carrie D with donation. Said, congratulations on your new show. I was thinking about your motto, time will tell. You put in the time and strive for excellence always. Wish some football players would follow your example. I appreciate that so much, Carrie. It means a lot. And I do too. I wish, some of our defenders, would have that same type of drive and mentality. All right. But let's go ahead and get started, y'all. We'll get to Tua next, but let's go ahead and talk about our new defensive coordinator. As you all hit the like button on your way in the building, by the way, because we have over 300 people in the room and only 77 likes. So let's go ahead and get that up so we can go ahead and have a great show. All right. So new DC. I'm not going to be that long on this subject. Anthony Weaver, we got our new defensive coordinator. I've done my research. I've looked him up, because I don't know nothing about Anthony Weaver before this. I didn't know too much. I'm going to sit here and make it seem like, oh, yeah, Anthony Weaver, I know he did this and I know he did that. Like I already knew after I did my research. I didn't know nothing about the guy. So what did I do? I did my own research, and then I reached out to people who did, like Ingraven, since he was with the Ravens and with the team before that. I was told a lot of different things, but let me go ahead and sum it all up. This is what I think about the defensive coordinator signing. Number one, I like it. Because based off of the interviews I hear him in and the things that I've heard, I like him. But the reality of this signing, we're the guinea pigs. He's never been a defensive coordinator, so we didn't get a proven, accomplished guy. That's number one. Coming from Vic Fangio to this is certainly a downgrade unless he proves otherwise. But we're the guinea pig. This guy worked on the D-line over in Baltimore. Some players saw some improvement in their play, but a lot of the things that changed was when Roquan came in, everybody's play lifted. My conclusion of him is he's going to come in, instill what he wants to instill, do what he wants to do to a degree with collaboration with Mike McDaniel for sure. And we're going to find out if he's worthy of being a defensive coordinator or not. This is an experiment. He's a good coach, no doubt. But this is an experiment. This is a guy who is unproven, who has done nothing to say, man, he did this, he did that, he did this, he did that. So at the end of the day, we're going to find out if the new role is a proper promotion for him in his attempt to one day become a head coach. So he has an opportunity to prove himself. So I'm going to be honest with y'all. Every candidate that we were bringing in kept getting jobs. A lot of people didn't want to come to Miami. Some of them stayed with their current, instead of taking a promotion, some of them stayed with their current teams and just took a raise, knowing that their next step up has to be that coordinator position. Yet some of them literally stayed with their current team and just took a raise. I honestly feel like Fangio tainted our pool with that last report. I think he kind of tainted our pool. But I'm hoping Anthony Weaver is a great pickup. It's just the reality is we all don't know until we know. A lot of people can make assumptions. A lot of people can assume, but we won't know until he come in this building and make this defense. And let's be honest, as good as the Ravens defense. Let's just be honest, right? Let's be honest. He talks a lot about physicality. He talks a lot about being physical, and physicality comes with being able to run the ball and being able to stop the run. Let's see who we are next year under our new defensive coordinator and how this all turns out. I like him, and I think this is a good chance for him to prove himself. But let's remember, he is unproven. So we'll give it the time due, and we'll give him a fair chance, and we'll evaluate game by game how the defense does. See, Fangio, we didn't have to evaluate game by game because And let's get something straight. I know Fangio had this team playing at the number 4 defense at some point until we got injured. Let me be clear about something to y'all. We gotta start understanding rankings, okay? We have to start understanding something. The defense still wasn't great last year. I think people need to understand that. Well, when everybody was healthy, they were great, TD. Well, that's a problem. That means that you're living off of your talent and not so much coaching. And this is what I try to understand to people in this game. This game is so vast. The game of football in the NFL with every organization, it is so vast. So many things impact other things. Ultimately, the biggest factor is the play on the field, but I try to explain to people how many factors are at play. And all it takes out of the 100 factors is for 3 to 5 of them to be off, and you're not winning a Super Bowl. It's so vast. And this is why you have to know how to evaluate everything. You can't just look at a stat book and say they were the number 4 defense for a large part when they were healthy. Yeah, they're great. No. Because that means you paid for talent to look good instead of developing talent and having a great scheme that can compete against anyone. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not naive to think that talent isn't important, but there's a fine balance. And that's why we are out of balance as an organization, because we're too much on the money side of the balance versus developing talent side of the balance. We need those to even out so that we can afford and be able to have a great defense consistently. So we're going to find out what kind of coach he is this year. But at the same token, the real gauge of a coach is when you don't have everything you want, can you make it work? Can you make it work? And at some point, every coach is faced with that. It's just a matter of when. It's like Patrick Mahomes. He was so rich and he had everything he wanted in his first few years. And I was one of the individuals that said, wait, let's see how he does without everything. And that's what he's been doing the last 2 years. So he gets the certified stamp of approval, because with and without, he has proven it. With and without, he has proven it. The biggest gauge on how you evaluate coaches and players is when everything isn't perfect around them. How does a coach look whenever they literally game plan when they lost some of their best players? How does a team look or a player look when they lost a weapon or they lose their quarterback or whatever it may be? That's why I know the Browns have some good coaches over there to have the quarterback issues they had and still maintain success. That's why I know the Pittsburgh Steelers have some great coaches over there when they're having quarterback fluctuations all that time. I know the Bengals over there are still found a way to survive for as long as they could. That's how you tell. And when these players lose, when these quarterbacks lose their number 1 receiver, how do they look? When these receivers lose their number 1 quarterback, when these running backs lose their right tackles, and you see, like, that's how you gauge who's making plays and pushing the team forward regardless of what they're missing. That's what it's about. But we do have a lot of talent. Not sure we'll be able to maintain it all. In the next 30 days, we're going to find out a lot. But we'll see how he does, and we'll evaluate it each week. And right now, he has a fresh start. Come in, do whatever you want to do, and we'll evaluate it 1 week at a time. How is our defense under our new defensive coordinator? It's that simple. It's that simple. All right. Shout out to Josh Allen is the next John Elway. TD, can you talk about the idea just because one quarterback has a higher passer rating or whatever stats doesn't mean he's actually better? I think people are blinded by stats and not the actual meat and potatoes of playing quarterback. Yeah, I mean, it's a loaded subject. First of all, you have to understand people don't understand quarterback play to a degree, right? It's very hard technically to compare quarterbacks. It actually is. You can compare their skill sets, but when it comes to stats and play style and all of that, it's hard to compare. It's almost unfair to ever compare. For instance, everyone sees the offense that we run, right? We don't stretch the field that much. I know every time we do, we used to have a high percentage of doing it, but we don't stretch it out that much. We don't have the 15-yard plus throws as much as many teams that people think. We rarely throw outside the numbers. Rarely. We rarely throw outside the numbers. Some other guys, their offense is predicated on throwing outside the numbers because throwing outside the numbers a lot of times is where you get your one-on-ones, especially in man coverage. No safety help can like on 10-yard comebacks, there ain't no safety in the world that can impact that play. It's a true one-on-one in man coverage. Even cover 2 where you got help side over the top on a comeback, it's truly man-to-man. How do you sell it? How do you run the route? And is the timing perfect? And did the ball placement, was it perfect? We rarely run plays outside the numbers unless it's a post. Or, a deep crosser that got extended rarely coming across. We rarely do. Only thing we're going to do on the outside is maybe a quick 5-yard out. Or, throwing the deep ball on the sideline. That's it. No playing the route tree on the outside past 5 yards. Outside of a go route. So when you have offenses that primarily run that, and then you compare it to an offense like ours, yeah, this is why passer rating could be skewed. Because we could throw a bubble screen, we could throw a 5-yard out, we could throw a quick slant. And out of all 3 of the routes that I just named, outside comeback route timing is harder than all 3. And that can be ran. But yet, the screen pass that gets caught behind the line of scrimmage and goes for 15 yards will have a better passer rating than a 9-yard comeback route. Because it went for more yards, but the pass was easier from the quarterback. So a lot of people don't understand stats, passer rating, and all of that type of stuff. They just don't. Some quarterbacks have to make more difficult throws because of the way the offense is set up. Some quarterbacks don't have the luxury of getting rid of the ball quick because the playbook is built to get chunks. Some teams believe in their offensive line more, whether they should or not. So it's so many factors when it comes to coaching and all of those things. So comparing quarterbacks, when you say, well, this quarterback had a higher rating or what, whatever, again, it's about context. How did you get those yards, X, Y, and Z, all of that stuff. So, yeah, man, it's, but, people still, they're going to use it for whatever side of the argument better suits them. All right. Kevin Lee, the homie, he said to this point, if any defensive coordinator, if your quarterback can't put up more than 7 points in 7 straight quarters, it's pointless. It's pointless. Miami needs to get their head out of their money, ASS money, and wake up. Well, I get it, Kevin. Let me say this. I think I've done a good job on this channel helping people see that. I think that we all understand and know the reality now. But they are who they are. So they're not going to still trying to figure it out. I would say making the defense better is a good step in trying to figure it out under the current circumstances. Even if it doesn't work in the long run, it's still better than what we were looking at. Because you're going to need a defense that's like the Ravens defense that doesn't allow more than 16 points a game. You're going to need a defense that can potentially help the offense by putting points up. Don't forget that either. So if the defense can help you out with 7 points in a game or get you in field goal range from a turnover right away, it'll go a long way. You can help your offense by improving the defense if you can create those type of things. So it's just a matter of when it's all said and done, though. Here's why I say that. Baltimore Ravens had a defense that literally only allowed 16 points a game in the regular season, and they only allowed 17 to the Chiefs. So it's still not the good formula. And here's something I did hear Anthony Weaver say that I liked, but I also didn't like. It is a beautiful thing to be in contention every year, like the Baltimore Ravens have been. And he talked about how they always know what to do to make sure the team is in contention. But since they won that first Super Bowl, I think we all could agree the way they've been in contention, they should have had 2 or 3 more by now. But I think they lose sight of contention's never the goal. He said it is the goal. That's all you can ask for. I don't like that mentality. I'm Super Bowl or bust, like Teron Armstead said the other day. The expectation this year, according to Teron Armstead, is Super Bowl or bust. So I understand the notion of being competitive every year, but I'm sorry. I've seen the Baltimore Ravens fan base the last several years since they won that Super Bowl with Flacco. It's beautiful to turn up every year to get to a certain point, but y'all don't realize their devastation is greater than ours. To think you have a Super Bowl team and keep getting slapped down is worse than being in purgatory. We're just coming into this playoff thing and getting smacked down. Theirs is even worse, like Buffalo, winning a game or two in the playoffs and still getting smacked down. Trust me, it's worse. It's about winning the Super Bowl. So yeah, I like the steps forward. Let's make the defense better if we can. But there's so many more factors than just bringing in a defensive coordinator, because you'd be crazy to think we upgraded over Vic Fangio. Like, I hope that it turns out we upgraded, but anybody who says that we upgraded without allowing this man to ever do this role is just being a homer. They're just being a homer. So this is definitely a wait and see. This is definitely a wait and see situation. But make the defense better is the best thing to do right now, because I got to ask you, how can you make the offense that much better? How can you make this offense better? Now, minus Tua, because that's a factor that ain't changing. You can't. And anybody who comes in and says the O-line, can you please, I keep asking y'all, explain to me how you're going to upgrade the O-line. Like, no, not one person has explained to me how we'll be able to upgrade the O-line. That's why I don't want to hear O-line, O-line, O-line. And I also don't want to hear tight end like everybody keeps saying. You had Mike Gesicki and didn't use him. Same system, ladies and gentlemen. Let's not act brand new. Same system 2 years ago. I know some of y'all saying quarterback, but I said the rule is without changing the quarterback because they're not going to do that. How can you upgrade this O-line? And that's the point. And people are saying, shout out to the homie Michael Simmons, said O-line that stay healthy. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, whether y'all believe it or not, this O-line, healthy or not, did not have these like major fall off cliffs. I remember early in the season when we had a few injuries on the O-line, the game they played without two guys, it looked better. Some of those tough games we lost, nobody was even complaining about the O-line. We're going to sit here and act like we didn't see even Teron Armstead losing on certain plays on film this year. All right, shout out to Ibrima John, said hello, TD. Miss Super Chats from last show. I did. I didn't realize that. If I did, I'm sorry about that. Forgive me, please. Yeah, that's probably the second time all in a whole year I've done it. Because somebody said that like 2 months ago I did that. My bad. Kevin Lee said, it's plain as day, TD. Like you said, Tua is not the guy until Miami sees that. It's on repeat at every season. Unfortunately, it makes me sad. Well, let me say this. Let me say this as a final on what you just said. Here's the insult to it all. Tua has next year to win a Super Bowl. We already doubt him, but he has next year to win a Super Bowl. Why do I say that? Because next year, all these young guys' money gonna kick in. Everybody who Chris Grier signs this offseason, he gonna make their cap hit low this year, by the way, because we already in the negative. But they're gonna start kicking in the very next year. And Tua's money is gonna kick in when they sign them to whatever they're gonna give them. It ain't gonna kick in this year the way they structure it. They're gonna get cap relief from it to try to be able to afford the team to come back and hope they stay healthy. But then the next year, everybody's stuff kicks in. And next year, you won't even be close to having the roster that you'll have this year and last year. Won't even be close. I mean, even this year, I'm nervous to see if we can come close. But next year, kiss it goodbye. Kiss it goodbye. Kiss it goodbye. So what that means is if we don't win a Super Bowl next year, you're going to be looking at a high-paid quarterback with less around him. And since we're going to lock ourselves into that, I'm going to sit back, put some extra cushion in my seat, and just wait on 3 years of that guaranteed money to pass so that we can move on. And it'll be Tannehill all over, but worse because it'll be 8 years instead of 7. So I'll sit back, put my cushion on the chair if we don't win this year, and wait on it all to pass by. It's that simple. Talk about it as it goes. When people mad, be like, what did you expect? Man, we need to improve this. What do you mean improve this? We ain't got no money. Your quarterback has it. Waddle has it. Holland has it. I'm going to be able to name to you exactly who has it every time. Oh my gosh, we need to fix this. Oh, so we back to the old days of this is the problem. And now next year, y'all want to fix that problem. And then that other problem show up. Then 2 years after that, you want to fix that problem. Then that problem show up. And then eventually you circle all the way back around and say, we need a new quarterback. But it's going to come in a whole nother rebuild. That's what's about to go down. This is the first time that I really haven't given y'all all the options. Like, I mean, I've given them to you, but I don't believe in them. You know how on this channel I give you all the possibilities, whether you like them or not. This could happen, that could happen. The one possibility that, if you notice, I haven't talked about much is them trading Tua. And the sad part is I'm supposed to be talking about that more than anything because it's the smartest thing to do in this very moment. But I already know they won't. And I know it's not going to happen. It's that simple. So we're going to have to live with it. They got to do it this year, y'all. I told y'all last year it's a 2-year window based off of salary cap. When everybody was out here saying the cap ain't real. Now them same people out here telling you about the cap apocalypse. I told you it was coming. Lies. Same people that was telling y'all for 3 years now, the cap ain't real. Don't worry about that. Now all of a sudden they've been telling y'all for the longest that the cap apocalypse is coming. A lot of people are saying it's the same for all quarterbacks. You're right. Money kick in, you get less around you for all quarterbacks. That's why you want the best version of a quarterback you can get. A dual quarterback. That's why it's important to get the best version of one you can get. Not just settling with what you know with limitations and saying, well, everybody got to deal with this. Yeah, but they got to deal with it with a dual threat. It's that simple. Let me catch up on a few of these super chats. Highly wanted criminal said, I love Hill, but no wide receiver should be making $35 million per year. Not even Jerry Rice himself. No team except the Dolphins would pay Tua. We gonna hit 30 years with no playoff win. Amazing. I would hope we get at least one this year, which is still a disappointment to me. It's a 0-year window with Tua at QB. We all saw it. Yeah. Let's shift gears here. Let's get into what Tua said. He said he has 4 things he has to work on this offseason, and he's not gonna share them. I ain't gonna lie, that made me laugh. But he's not gonna share the 4 things he's gonna work on this year. He's not gonna share them. We obviously know what they are. At least we hope we know what they are. You ain't missing nothing, Lewis. First of all, we know he's not. All you gotta do is go to his flaws to know, okay? But we know he's not talking about arm strength. At this stage of a quarterback's career, your arm don't get stronger. People would be like, "You can make your." It's a wrap. That ain't what he's working on. He's going to be working on processing the field, real time, going through his progressions outside of read one. Okay. Excuse me. He'll also work on throwing outside the numbers, which I don't think he need to waste his time because that's all about arm strength, but I'm sure that's on his list. And he's going to work on pre-snap command of the offense. Pre-snap commands of the offense. At least I hope that's what he's working on, those things. Can he get better in those things? Some of them. The problem I have is there's so much for him to work on that I feel like he only needs to work on 2 of them. I think he needs to work on pre-snap command of the offense. And I'll explain that in a second. And he also needs to work on processing the field post-snap. The biggest thing he needs to work on is pre-snap. Everybody like, oh, he can read pre-snap. No, his pre-snap is giving him his first read. That's not what I'm talking about. He needs to work on pre-snap identifying blitzes, calling his protections, and identifying his hots, his alerts. That's what he needs to work on. He needs to work on knowing when and when not to keep his running back or let him go. I've done the film study of Tua every game. Again, by the way, over the last 3 weeks. Looking for trends, and I found quite a few because the only reason I did it because this whole the Dolphins have a tail thing got under my skin, and I went looking for it. Still couldn't quite exactly find like the tail. Still couldn't find it, but I'm sure once we find out one day, it'd be like, oh, there it is, and I just can't. I feel like a failure. But anyway, but the one thing that I do know is he don't know how to call his protections at all. There's so many plays where unnecessary, like pressure can be eliminated. You don't have to worry about any pressure if you call the right protections based off of what you are seeing pre-snap, by the way. It's right there looking at you coming off the edge before you even snap the ball. But you just run the play, and it's a free rusher. And when the play is over, everybody say, we need a better O-line. That is all on the quarterback. Let me tell you something I found in film study. Do you know how many times a team sent 6 rushers against 5 linemen? And literally you could see all 6 of them at the line of scrimmage like they coming. You could see all the corner blitz. You could see all 6. And when the play is hiked, 4 receivers going out, running back in the flat, whatever. So many times where he could have just told his running back, that's your man. And had good protection. But it was always that free rusher. Or it was always that extra guy coming up the middle. And what do I hear after every one of them plays? We need a better O-line. Another thing that I found was unfair to our O-line. Sometimes teams would put 6 on the line. And whatever guy that's being like, they'll have 2 guys on the center. and everybody else is lined up. You got one more than you can block. Whatever guy is free, rushes the one that the center picks up, disengages and backs into coverage. And we say we need a better O-line. Some people say O-line couldn't hold blocks. You know what else I found? That majority of the O-lines in the NFL can't hold blocks. But you sure don't make it better when they show you more than you can block and you ain't calling protections. You sure don't make it better. He has to learn this part of his game. He has to get better in this area because it can help him be a better player because he'll have more opportunity. He needs to work on that part of his game, helping his O-line. In return, it will help him. Yes, you can shift the line to assignments. But once again, what teams started to do to us, especially the better teams, well, and understand this, line assignments are the same for every team. Your assignments are your assignments. You know who you have. You know when you look at that D-line, you know what the play is. You know who you have. But when you see that extra guy in the box, everybody's assignment changes. The problem is when both of those guys step forward and your assignment change and one of them back out. Now the change assignment was never a change. And now you're going back where you were, but they already got a beat on you. This is why the quarterback is supposed to call that protection just in case anyway. And that running back is supposed to keep your same assignment, and the running back is supposed to be there to pick it up. And if it backs out, now the running back can do their route. But the quarterback got to call that. Quarterback got to call that. The center can't shift the line when it's a corner blitz or outside linebacker blitzing coming up. When the safety's coming downhill. And let me tell you another indicator that Tua need to start recognizing. When that free safety start going over like they're going to play corner, this is when you're supposed to signal to your O-line, we're not hiking this ball. Hard count. Nothing. Just trying to see. You know why? Because that corner blitz, teams love sending it on us now. And that corner they edge it in, and now you hold it up. You see it. Now you also know where your alert is. You can audible that route because the safety 10 yards back, that's his man. And at the bare minimum, you can make him kill and get out of it. Or you might switch to a halfback draw. When they coming around, you shifting the run that way. I don't know, whatever you feel is best in the situation. But I saw a lot of that on film. A whole lot of protection issues that we could control if the quarterback was calling it. And I'm not talking about all motion plays, y'all. Some of y'all, I understand the motion situation. I'm not talking about all motion plays. Hello, TD. 201, a national championship with 4 elite, one wide receivers, 4 elite linemen, and solid running backs. How can Greer do that with cap situation? Just had the worst defense in the league and go load up on offense. It's possible. You can do it. Load your defense with undrafted free agents and have the best offense in the NFL. That's all you gotta do. But no, but yeah, those are the things I think he needs to make sure he work on. I just want a Super Bowl. I wanna be in this game. Like, imagine us streaming right now, man. Can y'all believe we are in this freaking Super Bowl? Man, we about to play the 49ers in the Super Bowl. Can y'all believe this? This is what we all dream for, man. I never thought Tua would get us to this point, but let's go. If Tua can win this Super Bowl, man, he's the greatest Dolphin of all time. That's what I wish. I wish I could be talking like this. I wish. I wish. I wish. I wish. Mm. How do we truly make this team better going into next season, y'all? Well, let me ask y'all in the chat. Some of y'all, do we need to make the team better? Or do y'all feel like we would have been in the Super Bowl if we were just healthy? That's a great question because there's a lot of people that be having me scratching my head around here. So I got to ask that question. Do we need to make the team better or just stay healthy? I'm just curious. Everybody new quarterback, but that ain't happening. We've been criticizing Tua for 4 years, TD. I thought by now he would have shut us up or get traded. I forgot the Dolphins are incompetent. Bro, you don't know how much that comment just hit home, man. You ain't lying. We have been criticizing his play for 4 freaking years, man. And they still don't see it. And they still saying, I can't wait for him to prove y'all wrong. Oh my gosh. Oh my. After year 1, they were like, next year he gonna prove y'all wrong. After year 2, I can't wait for this year him to prove y'all wrong. After year 3, man, he gonna prove y'all wrong. Watch. Man, we finna go into year 5 and they watch Tua prove y'all wrong. Oh, let some of them tell it. He already proved us wrong. Oh, man. Man. How many times a day you imagine us winning the Super Bowl? I used to do that all the time. The last few years, I don't do it much at all. Because I don't see a path to it. I don't see a path to it. I mean, it's time for receipts. It's time to have a moment of honesty. Let's go back to preseason. Let's go back to preseason. Y'all forget what I told y'all? I said if we lucky, we'll win a first round playoff game if we play a bum team that scooted in with the wild card. I told y'all if we lucky. I told you what this team should be able to do, but if we're lucky, we will win a first round playoff. I also told y'all our floor is 9 wins and our ceiling was 11. That's why I predicted 10-7. We end up going 11-6. We end up going 11-6. I was one game off. And I said that 10-7 may not be good enough to make the playoffs. We might even miss the playoffs. And if we do get in the playoffs, first round exit unless we play a bum team that's a wild card. I wouldn't be negative. Wasn't being negative. It's just the team that I see. And it wasn't because of the team that I see, just that, but in large part to the rest of the NFL. I paid attention to them too. I didn't think the Chiefs would be here again, though. That's the conundrum of it all. I did not think the Chiefs would be back. I knew they would make the playoffs. And I knew that they had the capability of knocking the team out in the first round, but I did not see them making the Super Bowl again. Let's get that straight first off. I didn't even see Baltimore going to the Super Bowl. For me this year, the teams I thought would be at the top of the mountain this year were the Browns, were the Bengals, the Bills' last shot, very last shot. Those were the three teams I was more worried about this year. Bengals, quarterback. Browns, they were, but, phased out. And the Bills' last shot, phased out. Next year, I don't know what to think. Got to wait for the draft, free agency, quarterbacks to move, and all that stuff. But the Chargers could be relevant. Bengals be back. Browns. Chiefs again. Baltimore. Whoever come out of the AFC South. Miami, Buffalo, right? Jets. It's going to be a madhouse. And you'll know a lot by week 7 because everybody that has 6 games in, if you 500 or below, you in trouble. That's how it works. That's how it works. It's definitely going to be interesting. TD, rest in peace, Carl Weathers. Man, was a legend in his craft and will always be remembered for all time. Yes. Good recognition, Kevin. You are correct, sir. A lot of people may not know who that is. Y'all go look it up, man. Definitely a legend. Tough. Let's see here. I don't know why my computer freezing on me at this very moment. Yeah, the party over. He's Creed in the Rocky movies. Apollo Creed. Yes, we need to make the team better, but injuries do make a big difference. Get Henry a good, really tall receiver and more help on the O-line. TD, you rock. Thanks, Dance. Yeah, man. But who do we lose? See, that's what no one's talking about. If we do make a few gains, who did we lose? Did we lose X? Did we lose Christian Wilkins? Did we lose Connor? Did we lose Hunt? Who do we lose? Did we lose Van Ginkel? Who do we lose? TD, what's your favorite movie? Black Hawk Down. Black Hawk Down. Tua was the Nick Foles of college. Never won anything before then or afterwards, and never will. We fell for it when we saw lightning in a bottle and drafted him, hoping we could capture that once in a lifetime magic with us. Interesting. Tua keeps Santa pajamas under his uniform. Y'all crazy, man. Messing with old Tua. All right, Tua is still a poor man's breeze. Y'all some haters, man. Y'all stop hating on Tua, man. Here's what I think is going to happen this offseason. Tua's going to get a 5-year, $225 million contract. That's $45 million a year. He's going to get a 5-year, $225 million contract. They're going to guarantee about 130. 127-ish. Why so much? Because they gonna sign him, bro. They're gonna sign him on that. They're gonna give him a 5-year, 225, about 127, 130 guaranteed. And people are gonna be happy that it's not 50 plus million and they can swallow this. Which is still ridiculous, but that's what it's gonna be. It's not about stats, Sean. You got to stop thinking it's about stats. Y'all have to stop thinking that the stats are going to determine the contract. No. The biggest factor in a contract is your ability to be a game changer or your attributes. That's what sells general managers. Y'all think it's just stats. Stats get you in the conversation. When they revere you as that dude, whether you've won anything or not, that's when you get the real money. You think Tua agent going for that TD? Yeah, he is. He definitely is. Yeah, his agent going for that. See, here's another thing y'all need to understand. Teams don't mind giving you money if it's a 2-year deal with 1 year guaranteed. See, when you get that kind of money, they were going to play you the next year anyway, so it's all about being on the hook. It's all about being on the hook. So no. True of the poor man Dak. Yeah, but it's all about that, man. Being on the hook. Long term, that is, by the way. Give me a second. See, like, here's an example. Daniel Jones got a 4-year 160, right? That's $40 million a year, but they only guaranteed 2 years. The organizations don't mind that. It's about, can you get 3 years guaranteed? Can you get 4 years guaranteed? That's what it's about. The guarantees is what tells you what they really think about you. Now, give me a second. Let me pull up a few and show y'all what I'm talking about. All right. All right, here we go. So, for instance, look at Jalen Hurts. 5-year, $255 million, which is $51 million per year. $51 million per year. His total guarantees is $180 million. That's 3.5 years. Any guarantees of 3 or more is what it's about. Those are the contracts where they really believe in you. Let's see if they believe in Herbert. Herbert got a 5-year, $262 million, which is $52.5 million per year. He got $218 million guaranteed, which is 4 years, more than 4 years of guarantees. So that's why Daniel Jones got the big contract, but they only guaranteed 2 years. They can get out of it like that. You think they can get out of Herbert's contract? No, you got to wait at least 4 years before you even start talking about the potential. Hurts, you got to wait at least 3 years before you can even start talking about that potential. So everybody get all caught up on the total amount and how much it is each year. That means absolutely nothing. It is all about the guarantees. Joe Burrow, a 5-year deal, $275 million, which is $55 a year. He got $219 guaranteed. That's a 4-year guarantee. 4 years worth of guaranteed money. So I feel like if Tua's lucky, he can get 3 years guaranteed. If they disrespect him, it'll be 2 years guaranteed. If they're idiots, it will be 4 years guaranteed. So based off of what I see, yeah. The market with Herbert, Burrow, and those guys are 4 years guaranteed. Jalen Hurts only got 3 years guaranteed worth of guarantees. Daniel Jones got 2-year worth of guarantees. So this is what y'all need to understand with these contracts. Stop looking at how many years and how much. Oh, he's making 60 per. If they made Tua a $60 million per year guy, if they gave him $240 million on a 4-year deal and they only guarantee 120, then I'm sorry. They don't believe. They gave themselves the most friendly out you can get. Yeah, it's a high number, but they gave themselves an out, which ain't gonna happen, but still. So when his contract comes out and their agreement comes out, the only thing I care about to see where their thought process is, only thing that matters to me is, okay, how much guarantees did you give them? It's all that matters. Hurts has literally went to the Super Bowl, Pro Bowl. See, when everybody start comparing what people have accomplished, this is why you can't. Because some would say Tua has accomplished more than maybe Herbert, maybe. Well, I don't even know about that. Because Herbert rookie year and sophomore year, he, you know, but they'll compare that. But then when you look at what Hurts has done versus what Tua has done, then Hurts takes the cake. This is why you can't compare, because Herbert still got a bigger contract, more guarantees than Hurts. And this is why I told you can't look at stats. Do these general managers view these quarterbacks as future elite quarterbacks based off of their physical attributes, what you can make them? What they are now ain't what you could just is the final of what you can make them. They look at Herbert, they say the big arm, they look at the height, they look at his physical ability. He can make every throw on the field. And they look at it and say, this is a perfect prototypical quarterback. He has all the tools. Now, is he executing the tools properly? That's a discussion. But he got them. So we got to get the right coach to make sure that he's using them right and developing it right. We can use him for the next 10 years. That's how that goes. Then when they look at a guy like Tua, a lot of limitations. He good at this, not good at that. This is shaky. You know, I like this. That's solid. He ain't this. He ain't that. That type of stuff giving money to, I give you some money, but guarantees, I can't lock you in for 5 years. I can give you a 4-5 year deal just in case it does work out. I can keep going, but guarantees, I got to be able to get out of this in 2 years. I know what Greer doing right now. He got his 5th year, and I can give him 2 more years worth of guarantees. But if it don't work out, I got to move on to 28. And the agent like, man, we need some guarantees to 29, man. And that's what they talk about. We need some guarantees to 28 at least. And Greer like, nah, man. We got 24 right now, and I can guarantee 25, 26. And 27, I want to be able to move on if it goes south. That's how that works. Sometimes it ain't the number. It's the guarantees that's holding everything up. Sometimes it is not the number, it's the guarantees. And don't add no incentives in the contract. Now they really don't trust you. Daniel Jones, let me see if he got incentives. Hold on. He probably don't. But if he do, that's even more proof they already knew he probably wasn't going to be the guy, but they're in a situation where they got to pay him because they ain't got nobody else. Daniel Jones, 4-year, 1. Whoa. Nope. $35.5 million in incentives. Oh. Um, hmm. No. Let me see. Man, they got dead cap all the way out on him. Give me one more moment. Yep. Daniel Jones only got 82 million in guarantees, but he has an additional 35 million available in incentives, but he got to hit those targets. Whatever they are. I don't know what they are. But he got 35 million built in incentives if he hits them. I can tell you now, last year he didn't. That's obvious, right? So we'll see. They're gonna pay Tua 50 million a year. Listen, like I said to you, it could be 50, it could be 55. I don't know, but what I'm saying to you is that number is irrelevant. If he get 50, is he gonna get more than? Is he gonna get what Herbert and Burrow and them got 4 years worth guaranteed, over 200 million guaranteed? Is he gonna get that? That's what it's about. That's the dilemma. And if he does get those guarantees, congratulations to Tua Tagovailoa and his agent. That would be massive. And now Chris Greer would truly be finally on the clock, because it'll have to work. Because if it don't, this is what you did. You didn't just set the franchise back for a year or two. You set them back for 4 years. See how much your boy Watson got guaranteed. He's the first player to get a fully guaranteed contract in the NFL. His whole contract was guaranteed. Yeah, remember, all the owners were mad about it. Lamar Watson, they handed him 230 million fully guaranteed contract. First player ever. Now remember though, it's only $46 million per year, because he signed it right before all these other guys signed theirs. 46. Now here's the crazy part. That I got to look at Mahomes first before I make this a fact. But this is the richest contract. Not Herbert, who's getting 55. Watson only getting 46, but he the only one who's guaranteed, got the most guaranteed money. No matter what, he gets his guaranteed money. The only one. If Burrow tore something tomorrow or something happened, he didn't play football no more, he got a cutoff. All of them got a cut off. Deshaun Watson, the only one that gets every penny no matter what happens. And as you can see, 2 years in, and he already done been injured twice. Already injured twice. Next year, he's a $64 million cap hit. I know that they'll convert some of that into signing bonus and lower his cap again and push out dead cap into the future. There's no out on his contract. When it's over in 2026, it's over. I thought Cousins was the first to get a guarantee. Well, when I say guarantee, is the multi-year. When I'm talking 3 or more years, Cousins be doing those 2-year fully guaranteed contracts, or 1 year fully guaranteed. He's the first person to get a 5-year deal that was fully guaranteed, and it's 230 million. Daniel Jones got a 4-year 160, so Tua got to be drastically higher than him, right? It's not, again, if you're looking at the annual, it could be anything. The annual doesn't mean anything. It's about the guarantees, bro. That's it. That's why I'm telling you, Deshaun Watson makes more money than Joe Burrow because of the guarantees. Now, if Burrow play all 5 years of his contract, he will eventually make more, depending, because they might even try to restructure or extend, which brings the annual down a little, but gives you longer guarantees. That's what a lot of people don't realize. When people do extensions, you lower the annual, but you stretch it out more. That way you got more guarantees to hold on to long term. I'm going to look at Mahomes right now, because as of right now, Deshaun Watson is the richest contract. Mahomes might be the only one that trumps it. No, not even close. See? And that's why Mahomes signed his back in 2020. Wait. No. Let me see when he did his. Hold on. 10-year contract that goes to 31. That means his new contract was done in 21. See, I ain't gonna lie, Mahomes did it smart. He got the old contracts. Just like Mahomes is only 141 million guaranteed of 450 million. Now the Chiefs can be ugly and make him play on it all the way out, but they're not going to do that. In 2024, this year, they'll try to probably restructure his contract and extend his contract and give him more money. They're trying to keep the dynasty going, but but I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie. Cap hit. They taking a lot of cap hits when he's not even under contract. Like in 2032 and 2033, they got $60 million cap hits in both years. The way they made his deal, like this year, he's a $57 million cap hit. Last year, he was 37. The year before that, he was 36. This year is 57. I mean, this year as in the year that's coming next after this Super Bowl. Just FYI. But he got 3 years worth guaranteed back then. But I see what they did. They structured it to give them flexibility, but they also gave him and them an out where he could restructure it, which they're going to do. But it's also telling they signed him on a 10-year deal. That shows you he's their guy, and they're going to average it out and give him more and more. He's still making his money. He only signed a $10 million signing bonus, y'all, which is one of the smallest signing bonuses for a quarterback. Some of these guys got $50 million signing bonuses. Herbert got a $55 million signing bonus, I believe. So what Mahomes did, I'm starting to realize, even though he makes a lot more money than Brady did, he's at least making the contract the most friendly it could be to where the team could play around and he could still get his money. He could still get his money. Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting how it's all factored out. Like this year, he got a check for $59 million. All his paychecks totaled about $59 million this year, even though he was only a $37 million cap hit. He basically, it was kind of like in his pocket. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, his yearly cash was $59 million. Last year was 29, less than his cap hit. So remember, these guys also get their cash on a different schedule too than what the cap is. The cap is what you want to allocate for which year to stay within the league rules. But how they get their actual money could be different. And he already got restructures on his contract. They restructured in 2021. They restructured again last year in 23. Whew. A lot of juggling parts. I'm sorry, big dog. The boy cousin was the first guy to ever have a fully guaranteed contract. How long, though? How long was Kirk Cousins' contract? Did he have a 5-year fully guaranteed joint? Maybe I'm tripping. Is Watson the worst contract in the NFL? You'll never know until it's all said and done. You got to wait for him to play it out. Kurt first contract with the Vikings, 3 years, $86 million, fully guaranteed. I didn't know that. But 3 years, $86 million guaranteed. So we're talking about the $28 million era. 3 years, $28 million a year. Last year's contract was guaranteed $35 million. He did a 3-year, $84 million, fully guaranteed. I'm looking at all the deals. His 1 year, $24 million, fully guaranteed. So Washington, he was a rookie. Then Washington gave him a 1-year contract for $20 million, fully guaranteed it. Then he got a 1-year deal with Washington again for almost 24, fully guaranteed. Then he got a 3-year from Minnesota, $84 million, fully guaranteed. But that's chump change talking compared to what we talk about now. And now he's currently on a $66 million with total guarantees of 66. So again, that 3-year is the first. He's the first one to do it for a 3-year contract. But when we talk about these $200 million contracts in 4 or 5 years, Watson's the first to ever. All right, we got him. All right. Let me see. All right, got it. All right, y'all. What time is it? We an hour and a half in. I told my wife to give me 1 hour, and we already 1.5 in. TD won't ever admit that Tua is a better QB than Watson today. Tua had a better year than Watson today. This year, today. He's a better quarterback than Watson today. Come on, bro. This organization has been making the wrong moves for more than 40 years. Why change now? Let me know, TD. They won't change. They won't change at all. At all. Dolphins escape Watson, Jackson. Be happy. They didn't escape Watson, Jackson. They were unfortunate not to get those two guys. I mean, we talk about the show. See this, like you would at least had some legs on your argument if you would have said Watson, but to say Jackson on top of that, the guy who just went to an AFC Championship game, regardless of how he played, willed his team further than our guy. Can't make it up. Time will tell. It always does. Ken Dorsey and Deshaun Watson will have a better season next season. Watson will take off in that scheme. The new scheme is better suited for him for sure, but we'll see how it all goes. Why else did Lamar need to win? Well, I'm not sure what y'all talk about. Watson hasn't played a full season since signed with Cleveland. Yeah, I know. Got to see when he plays a full season how it goes. But yeah, having a Lamar Jackson though would have got us the number 1 seed. It would have got us the number 1 seed. We'd have had a first round bye and a home playoff game with the Lamar Jackson. Unfortunately, we probably still would have ended the same way with the L in the AFC Championship game. But it definitely would have been an upgrade. It definitely would have put us in a better position this season. No doubt about it. He can't throw. Tua can't either. Not when it matters most. Not when it matters most. But time will tell, y'all. All right. Yeah, the wife calling me now. It's time to get up out of here, man. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Fins up no matter what. As always. Tomorrow we'll go over Tua's final grade. Yeah. We'll go over his final grade. I've already done it. Proud of Tua. He passed to the next grade, to the 5th grade. Based off of our requirements for him this year, he actually passed to the next grade. And we're going to go over it. Okay. Tomorrow we'll do the stream. No, he was not. He definitely was not an F. He wasn't an F. He did well this year based off of our grade that we gave him. He passed and he should be allowed to go to the 5th grade. And we'll go from there and see if he can go to middle school. Unless they give him a middle school scholarship this offseason, then it don't matter. All right. We'll go over it tomorrow. We'll go over all the details. All right. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Y'all have a good night. Stay blessed.